Are you prepared? There are many different types of emergencies that can occur. They can be natural or man-made. A natural disaster could be in the form of a flood, fire, hurricane, tornado, winter storm, or drought. A man-made emergency could be in the form of a hazardous chemical spill or release, a power failure, or an active intruder. It is essential to be prepared for any type of emergency by planning ahead. This program is designed to give you the basic tools to get started with your emergency preparedness plan and kits. The intent is to better prepare you for all emergencies with general guidelines and helpful planning procedures. As a public service, Delaware County Council, in cooperation with the Delaware County Local Emergency Planning Committee and Delaware County Emergency Services, presents this program, one in a series, to assist the citizens of Delaware County in planning for and responding to potential emergencies. The Delaware County Local Emergency Planning Committee is comprised of local and community officials, industry representatives, as well as volunteers to assist in the development of a cohesive and workable emergency plan to help ensure the safety of Delaware County. It has been written that fewer than 1 in 4 families have an emergency plan in place, although 81% fear another terrorist attack will occur. Preparation is of particular importance for the 49 municipalities and over 560,000 residents of Delaware County. This does not include those individuals working, traveling through, or visiting our county. Delaware County is the home of many businesses that produce or utilize hazardous materials, and its roadways, railways, waterways, pipelines, and even the sky above are often used to transport hazardous materials. The question is, what have you done to prepare for an emergency? Or better yet, what can you do to be prepared? Emergency preparedness begins with education. The first step is to educate yourself on the potential emergencies that could occur in your area. Then you should make a plan with your family members on what to do in the event of an emergency. It is essential to be aware of your community plan and the emergency alerting systems in place in your community. One of the most important steps in your family emergency plan is to prepare an emergency kit and practice your plan. For additional information on preparedness tips, visit Delco Ready on the Delaware County website. In the past 50 years of Delaware County history, according to the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, or PEMA, our residents, visitors, and businesses have experienced a number of emergencies that generated disaster declarations, including 2 blizzards, 4 winter storms with heavy snow, 4 droughts, 3 major fires, 7 serious floods, 2 hurricanes, 1 severe thunderstorm and tornado, 1 highway disaster where a gasoline truck exploded on I-95 near Chester, 3 pipeline emergencies, 2 oil spills, 1 propane storage facility fire, a gasoline pipeline bombing and a nearby gas station bombing on the same day within minutes of each other in Upper Chichester Township. Educate yourself. The Commodity Flow Study. Know what potential hazards are near where you live and work. Your local emergency planning committee has studied hazardous material transportation within the county. The study included transportation by vehicle, rail, pipeline, air transport, and water. Over 150 individual chemicals have been observed on our county roads. History tells us that 85% of hazardous material incidents will occur on our highways. CSX and Norfolk Southern conduct primary rail service through the portion of the county nearest the Delaware River. Over 140 different hazardous materials are transported by rail in and through the county. 11 pipeline companies have been identified, and these pipelines impact some 35 of our municipalities. Approximately 2,800 ships and 4,000 barges arrive annually along the Delaware River. Crude oil accounts for a majority of the hazardous material transported by water. This information has been provided to your local municipality for use in the development of their local emergency response plan. Make a plan. Each community is required to have an emergency response plan. Are you aware of your community plan and what your role may be in an emergency? This knowledge may be helpful to you in your personal planning when creating your own household emergency plan. You should contact your community emergency management coordinator for more information. As citizens, you can play a vital role as the ears and eyes of the emergency management team or as a well-informed and cooperative neighbor. For instance, acting as weather spotters, reporting suspicious persons or activity, and providing emergency personnel with accurate information necessary for proper response is essential. Your household emergency plan may start with a meeting of household members to discuss the dangers associated with emergency events and how each of you will respond to that emergency. It is advisable to designate 2 meeting places, a place near your home and a place outside of your local area or neighborhood. Establish a point of contact if household members are separated. This could be a relative or friend living outside of the immediate area. It's a good idea to be trained in or have a basic understanding of first aid and CPR. If children are involved, know the school emergency response plan as it pertains to them and how you will be reconnected with them if there is an incident at or near their school. Consideration for persons that require special assistance needs to be part of your planning. Delco Alert can be used to notify you of what is happening to members of your family not living with you so that you can take steps to aid them. And remember, don't forget your pets. You should have a go kit for your pets, just as you would have one for you, your spouse, and your children. Your emergency personnel, which include the police, fire departments, most of which are volunteer, and emergency medical services, along with municipal officials, will play a central role in every emergency. It is important that you fully cooperate with any instructions they may provide. Rest assured that when shelter in place or an evacuation is recommended by officials, it is a serious situation. Officials try to give as much advanced warning as possible, so the problem may not look serious at the time you are notified. Please shelter in place or evacuate immediately when asked to do so, because your life could be in jeopardy if you stay. Waiting may affect the ability of responders to reach you when the dangerous situation has worsened. Be aware, once you have developed your plan, the next step is to determine how you will be notified or be made aware of an emergency situation and whether you should shelter in place or evacuate. In Pennsylvania, the Emergency Alert System, EAS, is utilized during emergencies. When the EAS system is activated, radio and television programming will be interrupted and an emergency message will broadcast. It is very important to listen to the instructions. Delaware County has designated 2 primary radio stations to be part of the Emergency Alert System. They are WHYY-FM 90.9 and WMGK-FM 102.9. Delaware County utilizes Delco Alert as a community warning system that notifies residents of a major crisis or emergency. Visit the Delaware County website to sign up for Delco Alert. You should also become familiar with any additional alerting systems, such as fire sirens your individual community may utilize. The National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, now broadcasts emergency alerts for all hazards, not just adverse weather, over the National Weather Service radio frequencies. Radios with alert capabilities can be purchased at an electronics store. Radios with specific area message encoding, SAME, can be programmed to alert specifically for your area only. You may want to consider having a NOAA weather radio as part of your household emergency kit. In some cases, you will need to react before official notification is given. If you see the creek rising, hear an explosion, see a vapor cloud, detect a strong unfamiliar odor, or feel nauseous, or have a burning sensation around the eyes, you should take action to protect yourself prior to official notification. Prepare. To assist with your individual preparation, it is suggested that you understand the concepts of the following: emergency kits, sheltering, and evacuation. An emergency kit will provide the basic essentials to sustain yourself and each family member for at least 3 days. Detailed instructions on kit preparation can be found at www.fema.gov and follow the link for Build a Kit. There are other helpful links and lists on FEMA's website. Your kit should include the following: water, 1 gallon per person or pet per day, and non-perishable ready-to-eat food, a change of clothing and bedding, a first aid kit, medications, non-prescription drugs, self-activating hot and cold packs, a whistle for each family member, a NOAA weather radio with same alerting capabilities with extra batteries, a flashlight with extra batteries, toiletry provisions, copies of important family documents, plastic sheeting and duct tape or painter's tape and self-adhering laminate. Consider toys, games, and playing cards to keep family members occupied. Specialty items for infants, elderly, or disabled, and pets. If you choose to include a camping stove or other liquid gas fuel-powered stove or grill, make sure that it is operated in a safe manner in a well-ventilated location. An evacuation pack could be made part of your emergency kit. You may want to keep the evacuation pack in an easy-to-carry duffel bag or backpack. Sheltering in place in your home or workplace goes by various names, such as shelter in place or shelter and secure. When evacuation is not possible or leaving your home could place you at greater risk, sheltering is an option. If you are asked to shelter in place, go inside, close all windows and doors, shut off ventilation devices such as air conditioners, move to a room with limited exposure to the outside, and listen to a radio or television for further instructions. You will need to remain indoors until given further directions by emergency response personnel. When evacuation is ordered, you should prepare to bring necessary essentials for at least a 3-day period. Many of these items should already be part of your emergency kit. Make sure your home is secure. Let others know where you're going. Leave a note inside of your home as to where you are going and how to contact you. Follow recommended evacuation routes and do not return to your home until instructed to do so. Emergency shelters are available throughout the county, and officials will advise you where to go if you need to evacuate to a shelter. Residents with special transportation needs should make arrangements with relatives or neighbors or inform their municipal emergency management coordinator of their need. Preparedness is not a luxury, it is essential. The old saying of, "it can't happen here," has been solidly replaced with, "it can happen anywhere." Once you understand and accept that, your emergency preparedness can begin. Practice, practice, practice. The success to any plan is practice. You should periodically practice your plan to avoid confusion and to correct any deficiencies. Test your children every 6 months so they remember what to do. A plan can change over time and requires regular updating. Practice will help you to remain calm, an essential key to success in these unusual types of situations. Get into the habit of checking your emergency kit each time you practice. Check for outdated items and replace them as necessary. By practicing, you will become confident in your ability to safely respond to an emergency. In an emergency, there are 3 keys to success. Follow instructions. Stay calm. Do not call 911 unless you have an emergency. Many times our 911 dispatchers are being besieged by calls from well-meaning citizens who want to tell us that there was an earthquake or that their power is out. Please remember to use 911 to only report issues of a life-threatening manner or to report a crime during emergency events. If your power is out, your first call should be to PICO. By educating yourself, making a plan, and preparing, you dramatically increase the likelihood of a successful response to an emergency. Everyone should make a commitment to not only protect their families, but to become civically involved in organizations that play a part in emergency response, such as your local volunteer fire department, community emergency response team, medical reserve corps, or county animal response team. Neighborhoods and communities where citizens are actively contributing to the preparedness process, everyone benefits. By spreading the message, there will be an increased awareness and preparedness for all types of emergencies, and subsequently, we can regain a sense of security in these uncertain times. Remember, planning and practice are the keys to being prepared. The LEPC recommends that you keep up to date on changing procedures dealing with sheltering and other emergency actions. Visit the Delaware County LEPC website at lepc.org for additional information. It is now time to prepare.